Good evening. I now call to order the Tuesday, March 25th, 2025, 6 p.m. School Board meeting. Please rise for a moment of silence. Thank you. Tonight, you may now present the colors. Tonight, FPC Air Force JROTC are presenting Cadet Captain Alana Hoya, Cadet Master Sergeant Matthew Wickham, Cadet First Lieutenant Sophia Thomas, Cadet Major Jasmine Vikauskas, and Colonel Melvin Baskerville as their advisor. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the national anthem. Now retire the colors.
Order. March. Right. Face. Forward. March.
You may be seated. All right, so we're going to start off with roll call. We'll start down at the end of the dais.
Danny Nieves, FPC representative, present.
Johanny Strong, Matanzas High School Student School Board representative.
Lauren Ramirez, District 5.
Janie, Ruddy, District 3.
Derek Bars, District 1.
Christy, Chong.
Furry present.
LaShakia.
Okay, so we will now move on to our special announcements, and we're going to start off with School Library Month, and that is going to be presented by Celeste Ackerman. Welcome, Ms. Ackerman.
Good evening, Board. Good evening, School Board Chair Furry. Good evening, Ms. Superintendent LaShakia. I am here with some of my amazing media specialists. If you have not had a chance to stop into our media centers at our schools, I highly encourage it. They are amazing humans. They do amazing things every day, and they really do make a difference in our schools. And we are here to read our proclamation. I'm going to go ahead and begin, and then we're going to kind of step in. Whereas April 2025 has been designated the 40th Annual National School Board Library Month, and whereas school libraries provide materials for teachers and students that will encourage growth, knowledge, and
whereas school libraries provide materials that will develop literacy skills, cultural awareness, aesthetic appreciation, and ethical standards, And whereas school libraries provide materials that reflect the ideas and beliefs of different religious, social, political, historical, and ethnic groups, and their contribution to the American and world heritage and culture, and
whereas school libraries provide access to both physical and digital books to encourage children to read for pleasure, and whereas school libraries provide materials to meet individual needs, varied interests, abilities, socioeconomic backgrounds, and maturity levels of the students served, and
whereas school libraries serve as positive environments for all students to access and engage with a well-managed library that provides for free expression and ideas, and whereas we acknowledge that we must work together as a community to increase awareness about child abuse and contribute to promoting the physical, social, and emotional well-being of children and families in a safe, stable, and nurturing environment, and
now therefore be it resolved by the Flagler County School Board that we do hereby recognize April 2025 as School Board Library Month, and urge all citizens to recognize the important role our school libraries play in the education of our community's children. I can? Okay. Adopted by the members of the Flagler County School Board, Flagler County, Florida, at the regular open public meeting thereof held on the 25th day of March 2025. Here, we can set our paper stone real quick.
Good job, guys. Thank you.
Leads us to our second special announcement, Child Abuse Prevention Month, presented by Ms. Brandy Williams. Welcome, Ms. Williams.
Thank you. Good evening, Board, Chair, and Superintendent Moore. My name is Brandy Williams. I'm the Coordinator of Counseling Services, and I really appreciate the opportunity to come before you tonight to read the resolution. Child abuse is unfortunately something that some of our families do experience here in Flagler County. It does have significant impacts, so we appreciate the opportunity to recognize this need tonight. So I will begin. A resolution of the Flagler County School Board recognizing April as Child Abuse Prevention Month. Whereas child abuse and neglect is a serious problem affecting every segment of our community, and finding solutions requires input and action from everyone. And whereas our children are our most valuable resources, excuse me, and will shape the future of Flagler County, and whereas child abuse can have long-term psychological, emotional, and physical effects that have lasting consequences for victims of abuse. And whereas protective factors are conditions that reduce or eliminate risk and promote the social, emotional, and developmental well-being of children, and whereas effective child abuse prevention activities succeed because of the partnerships created between child welfare professionals, education, health, community, and faith-based organizations, businesses, law enforcement agencies, and families. And whereas communities must make every effort to promote programs and activities that create strong and thriving children and families. And whereas we acknowledge that we must work together as a community to increase awareness about child abuse and contribute to promoting the physical, social, and emotional well-being of children and families and a safe, stable, and nurturing environment. And whereas prevention remains the best defense for our children and families. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Flagler County School Board that we do hereby recognize April 2025 as National Child Abuse Prevention Month, and urge all citizens to recognize this month by dedicating ourselves to the task of improving the quality of life for all children and families. Adopted by the members of the Flagler County School Board, Flagler County, Florida, at the regular open public meeting thereof, held on the 25th day of March 2025, signed by Will Furry, Chair, School Board of Flagler County, and LaShakia Moore, Superintendent, Flagler Schools.
Thank you, Ms. Williams.
Thank you.
Once you come up front, we'd like to take a picture.
Oh, okay, will do.
So that leads us now to Autism Acceptance Month, presented by Dr. Kim Holliday. And guests. Welcome to you all.
Good evening, Chairman Furry, Superintendent Moore, esteemed board. I want to thank you all very much for the opportunity to share this proclamation with you. Of course, I can't do it alone. That's not how we do it here in Flagler Schools. So I've brought up a team of folks to help us read this, starting with the resolution of the Flagler Schools Board recognition of April as National Autism Acceptance Month.
Whereas Autism Acceptance Month aims to celebrate and promote acceptance for the condition, occurring in 1 in every 36 children as of 2023 in the United States. And
we're going to let Ms. Mary talk.
Whereas autism, a complex developmental condition affecting the student's ability to interact, communicate, and progress, has not one but many subtypes. First held in the year 1972 by the Autism Society, Autism Acceptance Month emphasizes the need for public awareness to promote acceptance, celebrate the differences, and be more inclusive towards autistic individuals around us. And
whereas every April, Flagler Schools, additional agencies such as Vincent's Clubhouse and the Autism Society works to build an inclusive community where autistic individuals are embraced and supported to achieve the highest quality of life possible. And
whereas the Autism Society was founded in 1965 by Bernard Rimland, it is driven by the fact that autism is the fastest growing development disability in the world. The Autism Society hosted one of the first nationwide efforts of an awareness campaign called National Autistic Children's Week in 1972, which subsequently evolved into the Autism Awareness Month, earmarked in April. And
whereas in 2021, Autism Acceptance Month helps foster acceptance and ignite change, autism supporters understand the need to foster awareness and acceptance to ignite change and a healthier lifestyle. Through improved opportunities for people with autism, organizations cater to more than 600,000 individuals on the autism spectrum who have access to tools like community partnerships with organizations, digital and print resources, and events and referrals to spark empathy and inclusivity. And
with autism, diagnosis with rate increase fast, take 30 days of April to celebration differences, learning more about and empower autism as well. And that's good, right?
Yes. Yes. Words in foreign schools, the number of students with under the IDEA because of you know this word is? Autism, yes, of autism. A special dozen has gone from 1889 and 2089 and 2018, 19 to 229 and 2024 and also 25. Thank you guys.
Now we're all going to be together. Now, therefore, be resolved by the Flagler County School Board that we do hereby join the nation in recognizing April 2025 as National Autism Acceptance Month, as a symbol of our commitment to creating a culture of disability awareness and inclusion for all members of our community. Adopted by the members of this Flagler County School Board, Flagler County, Florida, at the regular open public meeting thereof held on the 25th day of March 2025. Thank you. Of course, we're going to just share one or two more things about you, about what we've accomplished and what our young people have accomplished. You know that we work tirelessly to ensure that our students have an opportunity to be included in their neurotypical, alongside their neurotypical peers, and we are making great strides in that. We're also very blessed to have a great relationship with Vincent's Clubhouse. I know she's going to take a minute here in a second to collaborate on a variety of things, one of which we're very proud of is the Vincent's Clubhouse Flagler School's ESE education series that's afforded to our parents, to our community members. And some of the topics that we've covered this year include collaborating with your schools, understanding the functions of behavior, assistive technology, and augmentative and alternative communication, and of course, transition planning. I want to let you know that our students are actively involved in the community. We are finding employment for many, many of our young people, as well as young people like Haley, who are getting ready to go off to college.
So thank you, board, for allowing us to be here today. The team at Vincent's Clubhouse is very, very grateful for Flagler Schools and all of the paraprofessionals and educators and teachers who work so hard every single day to, teach and mentor our kids. And, I'm very, very grateful and speak on behalf of everybody from Vincent's Clubhouse. Without the educators and the paras and all of the support staff in our ESE department, our students would not be where they are. So also, I would like to take an opportunity to please invite you to our third annual Autism Awareness Fair that will be hosted at the European Village. Our enrichment center will be open for tours on Saturday, April 5th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. This is Flagler County's only Autism Awareness and Acceptance Festival, and we would very much appreciate your support and for you to stop by and see all of our vendors.
Well, thank you for that invitation. And I just want to thank all of you for coming down and reading this proclamation and making our community aware of a great effort. And before you leave, we'd love to get a picture with you up front.
Right up here. 1, 2, 3. Cheese. Thank you, guys.
All right, and now we will move on to Florida Volunteer Month, presented by Susie Gamblain. Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having us here today. I am Susie Gamblain with Flagler Volunteer Services, and we appreciate the partnership that we've had with the Flagler County School District for so many years. So thank you for allowing us to be here to read this today. A proclamation of the Flagler County School Board recognizing Florida Volunteer Month, National Service Recognition Day, and the National Volunteer Week. Whereas April is Florida Volunteer Month, National Service Recognition Day is April 2nd, 2025, and National Public School Volunteer Week is April 21st through April 25th, 2025. And whereas National Volunteer Week was established as the official time to recognize and celebrate the efforts of volunteers at the local, state, and national levels, and whereas volunteers can connect with local community service experiences through hundreds of community service organizations like Flagler Volunteer Services, and whereas volunteers address the most pressing challenges facing our schools, our cities, counties, and our nation from educating students for the jobs of the 21st century and supporting veterans and military families to preserving the environment and helping communities recover from natural disasters. And whereas volunteering enhances the lives of volunteers, increases self-esteem and physical well-being, provides opportunities to learn new skills and abilities, and offers the chance to meet new friends and associates. And whereas schools, nonprofits, charities, community, and faith-based groups, national service programs, and volunteer centers such as Flagler Volunteer Services have joined with state and local governments to celebrate and praise volunteers who have given tirelessly and selflessly to the service of others. And whereas volunteers are vital to our future as a caring and productive nation, now therefore be it proclaimed by the School Board of Flagler County, Florida, that we do hereby recognize April 2025 as Volunteer Month and encourage residents to recognize the positive impact of volunteer service in our country, to thank those who serve, and to find ways to give back to their communities. Dated this 25th day of March 2025. I did want to share just a few statistics real quick before we take our photo. Last year, we had 1,681 volunteers who were active in Flagler County. They reported serving 103,175 hours throughout Flagler County. The value based on the independent sector, that's over $3 million in value. Just at minimum wage, that's still $1,341,275 in value to our community. And that's just for the hours that they reported. Many do things that they don't report. Our agency has a long history of working hand in hand with Flagler County schools. And this past year, we provided the following assistance. We have our Reading Pals program, which serves children in VPK through third grade with helping them with their literacy skills. We had 76 volunteers who worked with 177 students. Our Giving Store program, which allows children to select gifts to give to their family members free of charge during the holiday season. We had 105 volunteers and 347 children who selected gifts for their family members. We also provided volunteer support for the first week of school, helping the kindergartners get to and from their class. We provided help with the health screenings, the holiday shops, book fairs, and other special events throughout the school district. We also have volunteers who serve as teachers' aides and in various other roles throughout the entire school year. And additionally, we provided volunteers to act as victims during the countywide activist sell-in exercise that was held at the Flagler Palm Coast High School. That was done in partnership with the Flagler County Schools, Sheriff's Department, Fire Rescue, Emergency Management, and Advent Health. And lastly, we provided volunteers that assisted at the special needs shelter at Rimfire Elementary School during Hurricane Milton. So as you can see, our volunteers are doing amazing things in our community and in our school district. So I just want to thank you all so much for allowing us to come here and talk with you tonight and to share this proclamation. We really appreciate your support.
Well, thank you. Those are some great statistics, and we're really grateful for all those who volunteer. I'm sure you could always use more, right?
We could
Yes,
always use
Evan.
more. My lack of talking is because I have no voice, but I'm Denise Gallo, and I am vice chair on the board.
Welcome, Ms. Gallo. If you come up front for a picture. All right, so now we're going to move on to our spotlight section, and we'll start off with Superintendent Strategic Plan.
Yes, I would like to spotlight just a few events and items that are coming up. On April 1st, we will have our science night. We do invite our community to come out to the Wadsworth Buddy Taylor cafeteria for that event. That is always a great event for our students to be a part of. It targets fifth grade, but we definitely invite others to come out and be a part of that. I also want to bring awareness to our families of our ECG and physical screenings as we are going into that time of the year. And so I want to share a few dates that will be available on our website. They will also be pushed out through social media. In April 14th, we will be targeting current MHS students who are in JROTC marching band and color guard for their ECG. On April 17th, we will be doing for current FPC students that are in JROTC and marching band as well as color guard. And then on May 21st and May 22nd at Flagler Palm Coast High School, we will have physicals free and ECG free for all student athletes, including our incoming ninth grade students. So please be mindful of that. The information is on our website. You will be able to sign up to be a part of those opportunities. I want to take this moment to thank Advent Health, as they are the partners that make this available for us and available for our students and our communities free of charge. So Advent Health and Who We Play For are the partners that provide this opportunity. Again, this information will be found on our website as well as through social media, but we want to make sure that our families are aware of these opportunities that have these free services provided. And then I will yield the rest of my comments for closing comments.
Thank you, Superintendent Moore. We will now move on to Spotlight for the Flagler County Education Foundation, and we have Ms. Teresa Rizzo. Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, board members, superintendent, and the Flagler community. We always thank you for the opportunity to be able to present our spotlight this evening. Many of our spotlights shine the light on our incredible members of the Flagler County community who support the foundation, and tonight is no exception. However, this evening, we really want to take a moment to recognize and thank a very small group of, actually it's a large group, but tonight it's a small group within our own Flagler Schools family. The Education Foundation is a small but mighty team of just 5 individuals, and while we may be small in number, the impact that we strive for, Flagler students, educators, and our families, is nothing but small. That impact would not be possible without the unwavering support we receive from many of our colleagues here at Flagler Schools. So whether it's lending a hand, sharing their time and talents, or just simply believing in our mission, Flagler Schools staff consistently goes above and beyond to help us make it happen. So from the bottom of our hearts, we thank all of them for their support and dedication. It means the world to us, but more importantly, they mean the world to our students and educators we all serve. And there's a list of names here, and the reason our team talk through this is these are people who really do heavy lifting for us, and I literally mean heavy lifting. A lot of them are from our operational staff and our technology staff who deliver tables and chairs to our events, technology to our events, making sure we have a photo booth, lifting boxes of books for us, all sorts of different things. Dean Decker, the mail guy, who probably never gets a shout out, the packages he delivers for us out to the schools is just absolutely incredible. So we just wanted, Nyad, our DJ for the Ed Foundation, we just wanted to give a huge shout out to these people because they probably don't get that very often. We could not do what we do without them. So huge thank you. Corey Bush's team for the Senior Scholarship Night, they will deliver lots of vehicles for us, and that's a huge feat. So we just thank them all. Last but certainly not least, I want to spotlight one of our most meaningful upcoming events, and this is the 3rd annual Joe Rizzo Memorial Golf Classic. And this is a special event because it celebrates the legacy of Joe and his deep passion for the original flagship programs that we now know as Classroom to Careers. Joe worked diligently alongside the community members to bring transformational programs like the Fire Academy, the Heavy Equipment Operations, Allied Health, and so many more to Flagler Schools. His commitment laid the foundation for the robust career and technical education offerings that we continue to build upon today. So this Golf Classic continues that mission, directly supporting our Classroom to Careers and CTE programs, which plays a critical role in advancing the Diploma Plus initiative of the superintendent today. We are currently seeking sponsors and golfers to join us for what promises to be memorable and meaningful. And it's more than just a day of golf. It's a tribute to Joe's enduring legacy and a powerful investment in the future of our students. So we thank you again for allowing us to spotlight some things from the Education Foundation this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rizzo. All right, so we will now move to the approval of our minutes. I would entertain a motion to approve 4.01 through 4.03.
Motion to approve.
Okay, I have a motion by Ms. Chong. Second by Mr. Bars. If there's no discussion, I'll call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, it passes unanimously. We will now move on to the adoption of our agenda this evening. Are there any additions or changes to the agenda tonight, Superintendent Moore?
I do want to bring your attention to a couple items that was from a previous board request that any changes be brought forward at the night of the meeting. We had some minor adjustments to the agenda for as far as name changes for presenters. But when you look at 7.02, purchase orders over 10,000, we did pull the DM&A salary study that was pulled as there was a request for some additional information that we did not provide to the board. So we pulled that item. And then as always, personnel items are always updated throughout the 2 weeks that happens. Outside of that, all other items are the same as you saw at your agenda meeting.
Okay. So then I'd like to entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as modified.
Move approval.
I have a motion by Ms. Chong and a second by Ms. Ruddy. If there's no discussion, then we will call the question. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, it passes unanimously. Okay, so we'll move forward with this agenda, and that now, excuse me, that now leads us to public comment, and this public comment is for agenda items only. Do we have anybody signed up tonight for comment? No. Okay. So then we will close public comment and move on with the consent portion of our meeting. For the benefit of the public, these consent items have been workshopped at our previous workshop. If you want further details, you can pull those up online and watch them or read the minutes. This will move quite quickly, and but I just want you to know we have addressed and reviewed all these items. So that leads us to finance consent, and that I'd like to entertain a motion of approving 7.01 through 7.07.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion by Ms. Chong.
Second.
Second by Mr. Bars. If there's no discussion, we will move to the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, passes unanimously. We now move on to technology and innovation. Consent, and I'd entertain a motion to approve 8.01 through 8.02.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Mr. Bars.
Second.
Second by Ms. Ruddy. If there's no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, it passes unanimously. Academic services consent. I entertain a motion to approve 9.01 through 9.02.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion by Ms. Chong.
Second.
Second by Ms. Ramirez. If there's no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
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 I'm sorry, I do have discussion on that item. The portion regarding ELL, ESOL certification,
I would like to have some additional support and/or, let's say, an update on the number of teachers who are up to date on their ESOL requirements, maybe by the end of the year, so that we can ensure compliance with those credits.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we'll have that staff provide that additional information. Mr. Delaney, because we call, do I have to call the vote again, or?
No, I think we've had a motion,
Everybody
second
voted.
discussion.
Okay,
So-
gotcha. Very good. So then, opposed, hearing none, then it passes unanimously. Operational service consent. I'd entertain a motion to approve 10.01 through 10.02.
Motion to approve.
A motion by Mr. Bars.
Second.
Second by Ms. Chong. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes unanimously. Now we'll move on to Human Resource Services. I entertain a motion to approve 11.01.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Bars
Second.
and a second by Ms. Ramirez. If there's any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. Passes unanimously. That now leads us down to academic services action. So we will be approving these items individually here. And so first is 16.01, recommend the expulsion without services. Need a motion on this item.
Motion to approve.
Okay, motion by Mr. Bars to approve.
Second.
Second by Ms. Ruddy. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we will call the vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, it passes unanimously. That leads us to 16.02. Again, recommend the expulsion with services on this item. I need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Okay, a motion to approve by Ms. Chong.
Second.
Second by Ms. Ramirez. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, it passes unanimously. Okay. So that now leads us to our second public comment section of the meeting. This is for all topics related to education. Anybody signed up for public comment? No? Okay. So then we will close public comment and move on to board member requests. Are there any additional board member requests this evening?
I just wanted to make sure transportation updates, so parents are aware that we're working on communication and hiring, and then the Catalyst Summer Program for board request.
Okay. You have those noted, Superintendent? Okay. And the upcoming board discussions, are those listed in the?
I have one more request. I move that in our next board meeting, the update regarding the cooperative healthcare be presented and shared at our informational workshop.
Yeah, please do.
So we have to work with that committee around their schedule and their availability. We definitely will get them as soon as that they can come. We will make sure that that is at the earliest meeting possible. Staff cannot provide that company needs to come and provide that information.
Okay, so we'll work on that. And if there are any other requests, we will move on to closing comments. I just want to remind the board that we do have a time limit of 5 minutes for each board member, so please try and keep it within that time frame. We'll start down there at the end.
Okay, thank you once again for this opportunity to sit on the dais and represent FPC.
Our Bulldogs have been, as always, doing like really amazing things within their community, clubs, organizations, academics. FPC students Asi Bouchera and Elizabeth Chang presented their community garden project at the Social Innovation Fund competition, where they were actually provided grants and donations that total up to $2,300 so that their project could become reality for students. Our own staff, Flagler Pumpco's athletic trainer Ron Steenwer and athletic director Scott Drabzik, were presented with the Safe School Award given by the National Athletic Trainers Association. Our JV Starlets had a 3rd place finish at University High School, and our varsity Starlets had a 1st place finish. And more of like the arts, or FPC Thespians earned 1 superior and 4 excellent ratings at the Florida State Thespian Festival. And also our Starlet Trio Contemporary Dance placed overall superior rating with performances by Alexa Reyes, Shiriana Clark, and then Analia Robinson. An FPC track runner, Karina Marcellus, broke FPC's oldest school record, which was set in 1980 for a 14:45 in the 100 hurdles. And lastly, just a huge congratulations to our FBC girls wrestling team, who are now the Florida State champions for 2025. I'm always proud of everything that our Bulldogs do. Thank you again, and have a good night.
So good evening, fellow board members. Again, I would like to thank you for allowing me to sit with you all and represent Matanzas High School. So as we wrap up tonight's meeting, I want to celebrate our incredible achievements from our students to our staff. Our wrestlers represented us very well at state tournaments. They really tried their best. And our Lady Pirates softball team made history for the first time ever win against University. Congratulations to our JROTC drill team, which they had 4 teams qualifying for state, and we're wishing them a good luck for April when they compete. Our boys weightlifting team have been setting numerous school records, too many to name, but we are very, very proud of them, and we have a very successful season ahead for them. We're very proud of Anna Maria Kay for receiving the Great Kids Award, Daniel Reyes as the Beaver Toyota Student of the Week, and our DECA members Nicholas R. and Yeva D., who earned top 8 placements at the state competition, qualifying for the international event. Over 60 students were inducted into the National Honor Society, and we're excited about our upcoming theater performance of Little Shop of Horrors. Last week, we also celebrated 2 seniors, Leah Stevens and Juliet Fogel, for the signing with the University of Florida and St. John's River State College. Looking ahead, we're excited for future Pirate Night on March 27th, where incoming ninth graders will get a preview of our clubs, athletics, and academic programs. Prom is just around the corner, and our theme is Sands of Time, in which we're offering rides to prom for our students. And we also have a prom pop-up tomorrow to provide free apparel for our students. We also look forward to the ACE banquet pinning ceremony and the grand opening of our new school edition, which is nearly ready for use. We are so, so close. And lastly, I also didn't want to forget to mention our final virtual Teen Town Hall, which is this Thursday, which will be leading up to our Teen Hall Summit coming up in April. And then I wanted to also notably mention that for the first time ever in Matanzas High School history, we have 19 out of 35 students as of right now who are now accredited legal professionals. Thank you to Jeremy Osler, who is in charge of the law program at Matanzas High School, who's been working very diligently trying to prepare students for those exams. And that is very, very exciting, and they're so close to being paralegals now. So as I conclude tonight's comments, thank you for your continued support as we strive to ensure every student's success. Thank you.
That is incredible. That's awesome. All right, so first I want to thank all the parents for recently sending emails regarding any transportation communications, because the ball is rolling. So because you guys are, directly responding to us, we're able to direct you to who you need to be, and we can all work together. So thank you for that. I would like to thank FTC. So they hosted an extended day camp for spring break. A lot of parents work during spring break just because the kids don't have school, parents have school, and guardians. So this, from my understanding, was the first time. And when I tell you, it was incredible. My kids did not, the younger ones didn't want to go. They had so much fun. the leadership there, they called after 5 p.m. on a Friday, so they worked really hard. So I highly recommend, if you do have little ones that need somewhere to go on spring break or summer, they really take care of the kids. So thank you, FTC, for hosting that at Belterre Elementary. FSBA, so Florida School Board Association, we were able to be a part of going to Tallahassee and lobbying for you guys. And I wanted to thank Flagler County for allowing us to go. And while I was there, I was sitting next to another school board member, and she's also a mother. And during that time while we were sitting there, the Second Chance Act bill passed while we were sitting in that room. So you may remember, and it was very emotional. She was the mother of Chance, who dropped down, on the football field while she was campaigning for school board. And that bill was initiated because of her and other parents, and it passed while we were sitting there in that room. And I just want to say that I'm so glad that Flagler, we're just ahead of the game, because we are doing so many things for our students, and we're just ahead of what's happening now. So I'm really proud to be in Flagler County for things that are happening with us. So also, we lobbied. So House Bill 1427, you'll probably hear a lot more about this, but rural communities, direct funding may be able to come directly to our community. So I don't know if this is, oh, there it is. Between $750 to $950 million could help with student services. So we were lobbying for you guys for that, as well as additional transportation funding. Little things like, the state thinks 3 seats can really fit in a school board or a school bus seat. So, just talking back and forth, it's really down to a local level. So we did, I think, a great job talking with them, explaining our needs here locally in Flagler. And wanted to let everyone know the sheriff's gala that happened a few months ago, they talked about free oil changes for teachers. So if you're a teacher, you're an educator, they're offering free oil changes, and I just wanted to make sure everyone was aware of that. They're mobile. They'll come to your home, maybe to your school, give you an oil change. So if you're not aware of that, that can get pricey. So it's like a little thank you from Ford. So just keep that in the back of your mind. And Paraprofessional Month is coming up, Teacher Appreciation. So looking forward to celebrating them, and Autism Month as well, as we saw. And again, a big shout out to Ron and Mike, Safe School Award, our Flagler County athletic trainers. So thank you all, and have a wonderful night.
I have a question related to a point of order. Can you identify for me where the time limit is regarding board member comments? I know that there's a time limit for public comments, or anybody from the board. In the procedure manual, not in the board docs policies? Which is separate from the policies on board docs? Thank you. All right, so we had a lot of great celebrations this evening. I want to thank those who shared the Media Center recognition. Today's world is much more complex than maybe a lot of us went to school with and checking out books in the Media Center. We rely on those Media Center specialists for building digital literacy, digital citizenship, and how to research in a more complex, highly data information world. So while providing broad offerings for students to choose from so that they can enjoy personal reading. I also want to recognize the ESE and Autism Month. There is a Senate Bill 102 sponsored by Senator Gates, which is advocating for ESE autistic students to graduate with a workforce certificate. I think this is something that is inherent in a lot of our preparation of ESE students where we are trying to work towards getting them to be a valuable member of our society in those workforce programs. But this will provide some certification and badging that can be carried into the place of employment to prove their competency. So I do recommend that folks shout out to their representatives that they are in support of that bill. However, I would also recommend that they urge some funding with that bill. As it stands, it does not provide any funding for the schools to execute on that. Additionally, I wanted to call out briefly the Family Empowerment Scholarship Fund for Florida. It has affected our financing, and we've received that third calculation recently. While I am not judging school choice, again, I believe that parents should be able to choose, and that really our goal here is to make Flagler schools the best choice. However, take a look at the amount of funds that are going out to that scholarship fund as a whole in our state. I believe it's over $3.1 billion. And so this is going to be a critical time for schools to be able to make the right financial decisions. And I'm sure that we will. We have a great team. I also wanted to recognize some emails that were sent from staff members of our county related to the financial stresses and burdens that many of our staff and faculty are under. There were over 100 responses from different teachers across our county and other instructional team members such as counselors. And there were clear themes around being able to afford basic needs if you choose healthcare under today's conditions, and the need to have 2 or 3 jobs in order to maintain that. So, an affordable or maintain their mortgage. There are folks who are saying that they're crossing their fingers, their children are not covered under their insurance. So I encourage one of the wonderful ideas Ms. Ramirez had today at our informational session, that we step up as a community with our business partners and provide some teacher discounts, just as we would other first responders in our community. And just take a look at, let's say, Social Security cost of living increases over the last 3 years, 8%, 5%, 3%. That well exceeds the percentage increases that teachers have received over the last 3 years. And those are folks who are on a fixed income. So we're just trying to keep pace, and we're doing all that we can. And I would love to see the community step up in some of those ways. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a couple of things from me. Just first week back from spring break, so everyone's back in full force. A couple of things related to piggyback off of what both the other previous board members have said. We had a great week in Tallahassee. I think a lot of us, we have a great relationship with our delegate, and I think we're very happy that we have that relationship with them, be able to pick up the phone and call them and work with them on issues that are related to Flagler County. So hopefully we'll be successful on some of the legislation that's being brought back, or will be brought back to us, hopefully, with some of the passages that we heard this past week, especially with the Rural Renaissance Bill, that will be really good for our school district in general. Also, again, I mentioned in our workshop, I want to recognize School Resource Deputy Nick Champion, again, for being recognized and named as a Law Enforcement Explorer Post Advisory of the Year. Nick does a great job for us, and I really appreciate the work that he does for Flagler Palm Coast. A couple of things that we've mentioned, just April 1st, Science Night at Wadsworth. And they also have April the 3rd, summer camp and activities are coming up as well at Buddy Taylor Middle School. That's from 5 to 7. And then tomorrow night, we get to recognize someone who is up here with us tonight, and we look forward to honoring our superintendent for the Golden Eagle Award. And so we look forward to being there to support you and the accomplishments that you've made, not only as our school superintendent, but the things that you've done over the last 20-plus years in education for Flagler County. In the conversation that we've had, it's not just what you've done as superintendent, it's all the things that you've done throughout your entire career and the support that you've had from this community and also from your family. And we recognize you and thank you for all that you have done for us. So we look forward to celebrating you tomorrow night. And I know we've got a lot of time to talk about this later on, but we cannot forget that we have graduation that's coming up. And I know I don't want to take that away from you, Madam Superintendent. So I know that's coming up in May and then with FTC in June. So we're looking forward to celebrating these great accomplishments from our students and the work that our teachers have put into this. So I'll yield my time.
All right. Well, I'm thankful that we had a chance to visit Tallahassee together this week. Just a good time to, as board members, to get to know each other and also to advocate for Flagler schools. And I hope that we'll see some results from our time there. Yeah, healthcare. I know that's something we all really want, and we have a common goal to try to get there and see what we can do. I even hope on the federal level that our administration will start looking at healthcare in general, because the Affordable Care Act, we all know it's not affordable. But here in Flagler County, we want to do what we can within our means and what we're able to do. So I know we've already asked our district staff to bring us some new things, so hopefully we'll get there. I hope everybody had a great spring break. Just reminding my kids we're at the home stretch and it's almost summertime. Thank you.
Yes, thank you all for your great comments tonight. And I do really love the outside-the-box thinking, finding ways in our community that we can support our educators and all of our staff in education. It would be great if community can find those ways, like the Ford dealership. You know, that's a significant one. Thanks for finding that and mentioning it tonight. And yes, you know, the health insurance is one of our biggest challenges as board members to work through, and it is probably the most frustrating thing, because all of us want to bring those costs down as much as possible. And with every time we do work hard to get that there. And you know, this board is laser focused on that. So we can't talk much about it right now because it's in bargaining at the moment, but there'll be updates on that soon. Just grateful for a productive meeting, and thanks to staff for all your help. And I did have one last thing to share. I wanted to share about the multicultural festival that I attended at Matanzas High School. I have to say they did an outstanding job of presenting different cultures from around the world, and they had a big ring outside in the amphitheater area there, and every student, you know, I'd walk up to them and say, "Is that where your country?" And they said, "Yeah, this is where I'm from. My mom is from there." And some were just, that's the country they gave me, so here you go. But all of them did an excellent job with their storyboards and had really good information. And they even had the local fare of food that was customary to their cultures, and that was neat to sample. Even dancing, traditional dancing. So, and I just want to also thank Christina Gillum, who was the organizer of that, along with all those who were supporting that effort. And I will yield my time to Superintendent Moore.
All right. Well, I'd like to save mine because I could just go through and cross off the things that you've already addressed. I do want to echo the spring break camp. Though it was small, it provided a need, provided a solution, right, for a need that our families had. And so we do thank our team for pulling that together and taking great care of our students. I want to take a moment to highlight each year now for the last couple years, our chancellor has a Chancellor's Leadership Academy. 3 years ago, I had the opportunity to attend alongside Ms. Sasha Collier and Bobby Bosserdet. Last year, we had an opportunity to send Mr. Marcus Sanfilippo, as well as Travis Lee and Jamie Scala from Rimfire Elementary School. And then this year, we had an opportunity to send Dr. Angela O'Brien and Kristen Bozeman from Matanzas High School, as well as Sarah Novak from Matanzas High School. And so they are wrapping that up tonight, actually. They're in their celebration, their graduation of finishing that coursework. But it has been going throughout this year, and it's an opportunity for leaders across the state to come together and learn and grow together. So just want to highlight that and the great work that's happening in that Chancellor's Leadership Academy. A few of you have already mentioned it. We are in the final stretch of the year, the last 9 weeks. So many great things happen this time of the year. A lot of great things happen. Our students have an opportunity to share what they've learned by taking our state assessments. We have graduations. We have promotion ceremonies, field days. All the things happen in the last 9 weeks of the school year. And so I want to say to our students and to our families, it's the last stretch and lots of fun things happen, but a lot of serious work and a lot of serious learning happens during this time. And so I encourage our families to stay diligent, stay involved in what is happening, build and sustain those strong relationships with our teachers, as well as with the other educators on our campuses. It is a great time of year, and I cannot wait until we have an opportunity to celebrate our students as they are promoted from one school to the next school as they're promoted. But my favorite time is to be able to stand on the stage and watch our students as they graduate from Flagler Palm Coast High School and Matanzas High School, as well as Flagler Technical College. So many great things happen as we thrust them out into the world. And so great time of the year, a lot of work still to be done as we end this final 9 weeks. Thank you. Welcome back from spring break, and we're looking forward to a successful end of the year.
Thank you, Superintendent Moore. This meeting is adjourned.